Hey guys, let's talk about this week's episode of Intelligence. And I actually really like this second episode. Now, if you've been watching my reviews of Almost Human, you would know one of my biggest issues with that show is the fact that the main character, John Kennick's ex girlfriend, betrayed him. And that is the reason why he now has a synthetic leg and half of his team was, or all of his team was wiped out. And my biggest gripe with that show is that they don't ever seem to address it. Like, it's not, priority number one on his list of things to do to find out why the love of his life betrayed him. And what I think that Intelligence has done really well is they have used that exact plot point to move the show forwards. So we found out in the pilot episode that Gabriel's wife was possibly turned and was part of this group of people that had done these horrible things. And she's been missing for the last 7 years, and he has spent a lot of that time trying to find his wife to find out what really happened. And in this episode, I thought that they brought this up maybe a little early. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it happen in maybe episode 3 or 4, but trust me, I'm not complaining that this is the thread that is driving him every day. The first shot we have of him is him laying in bed and he's thinking of his wife, and he's having this lovely memory of her. And then he has, because he can see events like through his memory, like a memory wall, whatever. And he sees her at this in this place where she's got a gun, and she looks like she's scary, angry, like she looks like she is a terrorist. And it's been his driving force this entire time to find his wife, to find out what has happened to her. And he believes that she's deep cover right now. And of course, everybody else is like, please, whatever, she's a terrorist. Let's kill her. Let's get rid of her. And, in this episode, at the end, we, of course, don't see her die, but she tells Gabriel that the bomb, she is the bomb, and, he's trying to save her. Of course, there's no time. He has to pretty much let her go, but he's refusing to do it. And his handler, Riley, decides to grab him and throw him out a window. I always love how easily it is to break these hotel windows. Anyway, so they go flying out this hotel window and land in a body of water. And the explosion goes off. And of course, he's devastated because he believes his wife is dead. Now, of course, we didn't see her actually explode. So that leads me to believe that she's not dead. And of course, at the end of the episode, we find out that she ended up helping them find her, technically, because she gave this boy this visitor's pass, which then led them to finding out where Ibrahim would have been, and that's how they found her. So obviously, this is the wink to the audience that she is not as bad as they all thought she was, and that Gabriel has been right this whole time, that she is deep cover and she's on this mission. And is she still alive? We don't know. And maybe that's obviously why they did it in episode 2, so that we will assume that she's dead for the next 4 or 5 episodes, and then boom, right before the mid-season finale, whatever, we find out that she's still alive. Who knows? But those are the things that I enjoy with shows. Like, there's a driving force, there's a reason behind everyone's actions. And I think that Intelligence did it right off the bat, and didn't just have him batting his eyes at this Riley girl, even though that opening scene with them talking on the phone and her living right across the alleyway from him, whatever. I was like, whatever. I mean, if we're gonna go for like a love triangle between the two of them, let's just wait a while, okay? Like, let's develop him as a character. Let's develop her as a character before we're trying to, smack dab these two together. But anyways, I actually really enjoyed this second episode of Intelligence. Let me know what you thought. As for like the surrounding characters, I enjoy the guy that they saved last week, and he's like, him and his son, very nerdy, very tech savvy, all that kind of stuff. I think that they work together. What's her name is the main, I guess, head of this intelligence agency. She does a good job. I mean, all the surrounding characters, I don't mind them. I'm sure, hopefully, at some point, we'll get them fleshed out a little bit more so that we can actually care about them more. But for now, I think that Gabriel was definitely more likable in this episode. And seeing him, devastated as he was at the end, thinking that his wife is dead now. And then, of course, us, the audience, knowing that she's still alive. Or, well, maybe not alive, but wasn't the bad guy that everyone else thought she was a nice closing point. So we'll see where the show goes from here. I wasn't sure if I was going to review this show, but seeing as how I really enjoyed this second episode, I think I'm going to have to keep it on my to-do list. So we'll see what happens next week, and hopefully I'll see you guys there too. Okay, bye guys.